Authorities confirm the primary suspect connected to the Brown University shooting has been found dead, marking a significant development in a case that has drawn intense scrutiny from law enforcement, university officials, and the broader public. The confirmation came after investigators located the individual following an extensive search that began in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, which had prompted widespread concern and heightened security measures across the campus and surrounding areas. Officials have stated that the discovery shifts the focus of the investigation from locating the suspect to determining the precise circumstances surrounding the death. According to law enforcement sources, the body was discovered earlier this week, though specific details regarding the location and condition have not been publicly released. Authorities have cited the ongoing nature of the investigation as the reason for withholding certain information, emphasizing the need to preserve the integrity of forensic and procedural reviews. Investigators are working to establish a clear timeline of events, including the suspect S movements following the shooting, and the factors that may have led to the fatal outcome. Medical examiners and forensic teams are now involved in determining the cause and manner of death. Officials have not yet confirmed whether the death was self-inflicted or the result of other circumstances, and they stress that no conclusions will be drawn until all examinations are complete. Autopsy results, toxicology reports, and scene evidence are expected to provide critical insights that will help investigators piece together what happened in the hours and days after the incident. The shooting itself triggered an immediate response from campus police and local law enforcement, leading to lockdowns, emergency alerts, and a visible increase in patrols. Students and faculty were urged to remain indoors while authorities worked to assess the threat. University officials later announced that classes and activities would resume under enhanced security, while also offering counseling and support services to those affected by the incident. In the wake of the confirmation, officials reiterated that there is no ongoing danger to the public. Law enforcement agencies coordinating on the case have emphasized that the discovery of the suspect as a body allows them to redirect resources toward fully understanding the events that unfolded and addressing lingering questions from the community. Investigators are also reviewing digital evidence, witness statements, and surveillance footage as part of a comprehensive effort to reconstruct the sequence of events. Community members have continued to seek clarity about what led to the shooting and how similar incidents can be prevented in the future. University administrators have acknowledged those concerns, stating that they are cooperating fully with authorities and reviewing existing safety protocols. As the investigation progresses, officials say additional updates will be shared when verified information becomes available, while urging the public to rely on official sources and avoid speculation as forensic and investigative work continues in parallel with internal reviews and ongoing coordination among multiple agencies involved in the case. Law enforcement continues investigating the circumstances surrounding the death as multiple agencies coordinate to determine exactly what occurred in the period leading up to the discovery. Officials say the investigation remains active and complex, requiring careful examination of physical evidence, digital records, and witness accounts to establish a clear and accurate sequence of events. Detectives have emphasized that the process is methodical and deliberate, aimed at ensuring that every relevant detail is documented and verified. Authorities have confirmed that forensic teams were deployed to the scene shortly after the body was located. These teams are responsible for collecting evidence, analyzing the environment, and identifying any indicators that may clarify how the death occurred. Investigators are examining factors such as the location, surrounding conditions, and any materials found nearby while maintaining strict chain of custody procedures to preserve the integrity of the evidence. Medical examiners are playing a central role in the investigation, conducting autopsy and toxicology examinations to determine the cause and manner of death. Law enforcement officials have stated that these results are essential before any determinations can be made, and they caution against drawing conclusions prematurely. The timeline for these results has not been specified, as officials note that comprehensive forensic analysis can take time, particularly in high-profile cases. In parallel, investigators are reviewing surveillance footage from nearby locations, along with digital data that may include phone records, location information, and online activity. Authorities say this digital evidence can help establish movements, interactions, and decision-making patterns in the hours or days leading up to the death. Witness interviews are also ongoing, with detectives speaking to individuals who may have had recent contact or relevant observations. Law enforcement agencies involved in the case have stressed that the investigation is not limited to a single line of inquiry. Instead, multiple possibilities are being examined simultaneously, including whether the death occurred in isolation or involved additional factors. Officials have reiterated that transparency will be prioritized once verified information becomes available, but they remain cautious about releasing details that could compromise the investigation. The continued investigation follows a period of heightened alert and concern within the community, prompting officials to maintain a visible presence and reassure the public about safety. Authorities have stated that there is no indication of an ongoing threat, but they acknowledge the importance of addressing unanswered questions and public concern through a thorough investigative process. As investigators work to assemble a complete picture, coordination among local, state, and federal agencies remains ongoing. Each agency brings specialized expertise, from forensic analysis to behavioral assessment, contributing to a broader understanding of the circumstances surrounding the death. Officials say this collaborative approach is essential for ensuring accuracy, accountability, and clarity as the investigation moves forward under close public attention and continued scrutiny from community members, university officials, and legal observers monitoring each development closely. Campus safety measures were intensified following the shooting incident, as university officials and law enforcement moved quickly to restore a sense of security and prevent any further risk to students, faculty, and staff. In the immediate aftermath, campus police increased patrols across academic buildings, residence halls, and common gathering areas, creating a highly visible presence intended to reassure the community while authorities assessed the situation. Access points to several facilities were temporarily restricted, with identification checks and controlled entry put in place to monitor movement on and around campus. Emergency notification systems were activated to keep students and employees informed in real time, delivering alerts, safety instructions, and updates as conditions evolved. University administrators coordinated closely with local law enforcement agencies to align response strategies, share intelligence, and ensure rapid communication. This collaboration allowed for additional officers to be deployed from outside agencies, expanding the security footprint beyond the university's own resources. Classes and campus activities were adjusted as part of the enhanced safety plan, with some events postponed or moved online to reduce large gatherings. University leadership emphasized flexibility, allowing faculty to accommodate students who felt unsafe returning to in-person settings. Counseling centers and support services extended their hours, recognizing the emotional impact such incidents can have on the campus population and the importance of addressing mental well-being alongside physical security. Physical security measures were also reviewed and reinforced. Surveillance systems were monitored more closely, with security personnel assigned to observe live feeds and identify any unusual activity. Lighting in outdoor areas was evaluated to ensure visibility during evening hours, and emergency call stations were checked to confirm they were fully operational. Officials stated that these steps were part of a broader effort to strengthen preventive measures rather than short-term reactions. Students were encouraged to remain vigilant and report suspicious behavior, with reminders issued about available safety resources and escort services. University officials stressed that community awareness plays a critical role in campus safety, especially during periods of uncertainty. Town hall meetings and briefings were organized to address concerns, answer questions, and provide transparency about the steps being taken. As the investigation progressed, administrators reiterated that the heightened security posture would remain in place for as long as necessary. Reviews of existing safety protocols were launched, including evaluations of emergency response procedures, communication systems, and coordination with external agencies. These reviews were described as part of an ongoing commitment to learning from the incident and improving preparedness. The intensified measures reflected a balance between maintaining an open academic environment and ensuring the protection of everyone on campus. Officials acknowledged that such changes can be disruptive, but emphasized that safety remains the top priority. The continued presence of law enforcement, combined with administrative oversight and community engagement, underscored the seriousness with which the incident was being treated as the campus adapted to a heightened state of awareness and precaution amid ongoing investigations and continued monitoring of conditions across university grounds and nearby areas. While safety teams remained actively deployed and alert throughout daily operations, officials state there is no ongoing threat to students or the public, a message repeatedly emphasized by law enforcement and university leaders as the investigation continues. Authorities say extensive assessments were conducted immediately following the incident to determine whether any additional risk remained, including evaluations of potential accomplices, unresolved leads, or related safety concerns. Based on the information gathered so far, officials maintain that the situation is contained and that there is no indication of further danger connected to the incident. Law enforcement agencies explain that multiple layers of review were used to reach this determination. Investigators analyzed evidence from the scene, reviewed surveillance footage, and examined communication records to ensure there were no signs of coordinated activity or imminent risk. Officers also increased patrols in the surrounding area during the initial phase of the investigation to monitor conditions and respond quickly to any emerging concerns. University administrators echoed these assurances, stating that academic operations and residential life can continue without disruption related to safety threats. They noted that security assessments were conducted across campus facilities, including residence halls, classrooms, and public spaces, to verify that all areas were secure. These evaluations were carried out in coordination with campus police and local authorities to ensure a comprehensive approach. Officials acknowledged that fear and uncertainty can persist even after immediate risks have been addressed. As a result, Communication has remained a priority, with regular updates provided through official channels to prevent misinformation and speculation. Emergency alert systems, campus emails, and briefings were used to clarify the current status and reinforce the message that no active threat exists. Law enforcement representatives stressed that the conclusion does not signal an end to vigilance. While no ongoing danger has been identified, officers remain alert and responsive as a precaution. Authorities explained that maintaining readiness is standard practice following serious incidents, allowing them to address any unexpected developments without delay. University leadership also highlighted the availability of support resources for students and staff who may still feel uneasy. Counseling services, safety escorts, and campus safety hotlines remain accessible, reflecting an understanding that emotional reassurance is as important as physical security. Officials encouraged members of the campus community to continue reporting suspicious activity, even in the absence of an identified threat. The determination that there is no ongoing risk was described as the result of coordinated analysis rather than a single decision. Local, state, and campus agencies shared information and cross-checked findings before issuing public statements. Officials emphasized that transparency and accuracy guided their communications, with the goal of keeping the community informed while avoiding unnecessary alarm. As daily activities resume, authorities say monitoring efforts will continue quietly in the background. Security personnel remain positioned throughout the area, and investigative teams continue their work to fully document the events surrounding the case. Officials reiterate that safety assessments are ongoing and subject to change should new information emerge, reinforcing that the current conclusion is based on verified findings and continuous review rather than assumption or speculation. The case raises broader questions about campus security and emergency response, prompting renewed scrutiny of how universities prepare for, respond to, and recover from violent incidents. In the wake of the shooting, safety experts and education officials have begun examining whether existing security frameworks are adequate for modern threats and whether institutions are equipped to act swiftly under rapidly evolving conditions. The incident has intensified discussions about the balance between maintaining an open academic environment and implementing protective measures that do not disrupt daily campus life. Universities across the country often rely on layered security models that combine campus police, surveillance systems, emergency alerts, and coordination with local law enforcement. This case has drawn attention to how effectively those systems operate under real-world pressure. Questions are being raised about response times, communication clarity, and how quickly actionable information reaches students, faculty, and staff during critical moments. Emergency alerts, while widely used, are now being evaluated for accuracy, timing, and the level of detail provided to recipients. The role of campus police departments has also come under closer examination. Unlike municipal forces, campus police often operate within unique jurisdictions and resource constraints. Analysts are assessing whether staffing levels, training, and access to intelligence are sufficient to handle serious threats. Some experts argue that stronger integration with city and state agencies could improve situational awareness and response coordination during emergencies. Emergency preparedness training is another area receiving increased attention. Many universities conduct drills and safety briefings, but participation and retention of information can vary. The case has led to renewed calls for mandatory training sessions that clearly outline how individuals should respond during lockdowns, evacuations, or shelter-in-place orders. Administrators are also reviewing how accessible these instructions are to international students, visitors, and individuals with disabilities. Infrastructure and physical security measures are also part of the broader conversation. Controlled access points, improved lighting, emergency call stations, and real-time surveillance monitoring are being reassessed for effectiveness. Some institutions are exploring advanced technologies, including AI-assisted monitoring and integrated communication platforms, while others caution against over-reliance on systems that may raise privacy concerns. Mental health resources and threat assessment programs have emerged as a critical component of campus safety discussions. Many universities maintain behavioral intervention teams designed to identify individuals in distress before situations escalate. This case has raised questions about whether those systems are adequately resourced and whether warning signs are consistently reported, evaluated, and acted upon across departments. Communication during crises remains a central issue. Conflicting information, delays, or unclear messaging can increase fear and confusion. University leaders and emergency managers are now reviewing how decisions are communicated, who authorizes alerts, and how updates are delivered as situations evolve. Transparency and consistency are being emphasized as essential elements of effective emergency response. The incident has also sparked conversations among parents, students, and policymakers about accountability and oversight. Calls for external reviews of campus safety practices have grown, alongside demands for clearer standards governing emergency readiness. As institutions continue to analyze their protocols, the focus remains on identifying gaps, strengthening coordination, and ensuring that preparedness measures evolve in response to emerging risks rather than remaining static in the face of changing realities within academic environments and surrounding communities where universities operate as open, interconnected spaces with diverse populations and constant activity under conditions that require constant vigilance and adaptive planning.